Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I am coming to you live for the second time today. I had my tea and crafts event earlier today and went live for a little bit from the steeping room shop, and we were just having a lot of fun with stamping and visiting. Actually, we didn't stamp. We crafted, but we didn't stamp. So we were doing a non-stamping kit. Hey, Elaine, I'm glad you are here with me. So as you can see, I am going to be featuring something new catalog. Now, I have been just kind of flying around like a crazy woman, like a chicken with its head cut off, which is kind of the way I roll. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to feature tonight? What am I going to show tonight? I thought about doing an unboxing video, but Elaine, who is on with me here live, she's one of my assistants, and she has a couple of my stamp sets. She's working on some swaps for me. So I thought, well, you know, some of the stamp sets are not here that I have, and some of the colors aren't here. Hey, Tasha. So let me just make a project with you. Now, I will warn you, I may buffer. We have a major storm going on right now, and my computer is buffering. My phone is not, and I'm filming from my phone. So hopefully we are going to be live and everything is going to be okay. So my apologies if we lose the feed. So I'm going to keep on going unless it just totally knocks me out. And hey, Jolene, I'm glad you are here with me live. So I do appreciate the shares. Thank you, Jolene. Anybody else who wants to share. And just to remind you that anybody who comments, your name will be put into the drawing for today. So we've got a couple of people gathered, and yeah, my computer is still not giving me. So I'm just going to have to see what I can see with my phone and hope that I'm coming through. Okay, now it's coming through. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's make a card with a new color. Now, one of the things I like to do with the new catalog is I will typically do a whole Facebook Live with just one new in color at a time. It's a little bit early to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and focus on one new in color, and that is the Boho Blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Boho Blue card base and get it ready while I am getting ready to show you a little bit of the other blues and how a Boho Blue kind of measures up to the others. So Jolene, you had a bad thunderstorm last night. Yeah, we are forecasted for severe weather. They actually had forecasted it for earlier today. We were expecting it like about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it got delayed. And my husband was like, well, they said, you know, we were going to get all this rain and we haven't gotten any. Well, yeah, then it comes, and here we are. So let me just show you a little bit about the way this stacks up. And then we're going to make a card with I have been playing with this new bundle from the annual catalog, and I think it's adorable and I think it's super fun. So before we get to that, one step at a time, Candy. So this is Boho Blue. Now let's just look at, these are our other two in color blues. These are the in colors that were introduced last year that have remained with us, and this is Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. Now, it's interesting because normally when Stampin' Up! Gives us recommended color combos, oh, and I see I don't have this one out, I'm really happy with them. I don't like these two blues together as much as I'm going to show you. Yeah. What I like, Boho Blue, I like it with Misty Moonlight. So I think that these, to me, are the coordinating blues. Like this is the deeper version of Boho Blue. Having said that, I think that Stampin' Up! Is giving us blues that just coordinate. So, you know, those are okay. I love Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis together. These are like these are like deeper and lighter versions of one another. And Then Balmy Blue and Night of Navy, they're kind of complements of one another. And I think that Night of Navy looks really good with Boho Blue. Not so much, whoa, there is major thunder going on. Not so much Balmy Blue. Hey, Margaret, I'm glad you're with us tonight live. Now, then we go into our greeny blues, and that would be Pool Party and Coastal Cabana. And they definitely, in my view, do not look good with Boho Blue. So, my favorite, now let me go grab some Lost Lagoon. I didn't have a scrap, but I didn't have a scrap because I haven't even opened my package yet. So hey Linda, I'm glad you're with me here tonight live. And Tasha, yeah, you love the green blues. They are, this Coastal Cabana, this is what I have a lot in my studio. This is it's a very nice blue to live with. So this is Lost Lagoon, which is one of our returning in colors. It is actually, I say returning, it used to be an in color a long time ago, and now it's become a core color. So this is definitely more on the greeny side, so you can see how it looks really good with Pool Party and looks okay with Coastal Cabana. Let's see how it looks with there's our Boho Blue. So that's kind of a nice, they're both soft, kind of muted blues. To me, this is much more of a purpley blue. So I have this out partly because I like to use these color combos, and also because I wanted to kind of go over some of those colors with you. And we're going to make a card using Boho Blue as our card base. We're going to use Misty Moonlight as a layer. And yeah, Elaine, you're not the only one who loves Lost Lagoon. Was a super, super popular in color when it was around. So this is really pretty at Christmas time. It's actually pretty year round, but okay, I digress. So I'm going to use a piece of the in color patterned paper. And I believe I'm going to use the kind of, they're not hashtags, I don't know what you call those, little lines. And I think I'm going to bring in this old olive. So this is kind of my plan. I could go just like this. I could add these extra layers, put a little bit of old olive. Now this is the textured glimmer paper, shimmer paper, something like that, that was in the mini catalog, and it's carried into the annual. It has some really nice texture and shimmer. So I think I'm going to do this. Now I could go super simple and leave it like this, where you get more blue. This introduces some green and then adds a little bit of white. So we'll see where we're going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this alligator. He is so cute. All of the images, I am in love with them all. Now, there is also coordinating designer series paper. I keep getting too high in the camera. There's also coordinating designer series paper. Let me go grab it real quick. I've actually been designing with this, and it's just a lot of fun. So this is one of those papers where one side is all black and white and the other side is patterned. But look at these little critters. Are these not adorable? I always love the critters. These are adorable critters. I love the trees because they're kind of woodland, but they could definitely go into Christmas. I mean, look at this little guy. I think he's a little gopher with his butterfly net. And I love these because they're already colored for you. If you wanted to add some more color, you certainly could, but you don't have to. I mean, a lion who is making well, he's not making s'mores, but he's roasting marshmallows. So this one I've used quite a bit of. This is another pattern, so you can see on the back, this one begs to have color in those flowers. I mean, a llama who is knitting. Is that not adorable? A little, I don't know what you call this guy, who is baking something. But they're just so stinking cute. This one, okay, so here's the one I just showed you, but you can see all the different animals. And aren't the colors, look at the hedgehog who's painting a heart. The sloth, a little Zen moment. I mean, these are just adorable. I think this is a goat, actually. These are just adorable. I think the artwork is precious. This one here, I mean, look at that. We've got the beaver. I don't know what he is. Maybe it reminds me of those African guys from, hey, Gail, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, Tasha, the sloth, I hear you. He looks like, you can be a big pig too from the Lion King. What do you call that animal? That's what it reminds me of. The bear. Look at the little frog playing the flute. I mean, these are just adorable. And there's the little, now I will show you, some of these have stamps and dies, not all of them. So there is the same little, there he is. So you can see where the die is going to cut out the paper, or you can stamp and cut out the animals, the critters. I think this is just super fun. Okay, so this is the one. I'm actually going to be coloring and cutting out this little alligator. Look at the fox. I mean, the aardvark. I mean, they're just adorable. And like I said, you can add, like, here's your ostrich, an ostrich on roller skates, a rabbit on a little scooter. I mean, you can add color to these or leave them alone. And then the other side are these really neutral, well, black and white's neutral, but they're very kind of neutral patterns that you can play with and just do fun things with. Let's see. Where is there another pattern I haven't shown you yet? Ah, here we go. This one, here's more critters. Look at the koala with he is juggling cupcakes. We have an armadillo. So those of us in Texas, armadillo is our state animal. Look at the little elephant and the raccoon. I mean, they are just adorable. So this is just super fun paper to use. And I've been using the heck out of it, designing all kinds of fun things with it. And here's that other piece that I didn't get you the full sheet to show you. I mean, look at the little pig who's going hiking with his backpack. Is he not adorable? Yeah, the fox, I always love the foxes, Linda. They're one of my favorite animals. Of course, we used to have corgis, so corgis look a lot like a fox. Oh, and here's the dancing ones. I forgot to show you a dancing hippo, a dancing reindeer. I mean, they are just so adorable. I love, love, love the artwork in this. So you can see why it's been really fun to work with. I haven't had as much time as I would like, but now they're saying this is Pool Party, but look at it with Lost Lagoon, how nice that looks. I mean, look at those warm colors. Isn't that great? Okay, so I digress. That's the paper, which I'm not using tonight, but I am using the stamps and dies. So I have a big event coming up in May for demonstrators here in San Antonio, and there is a mail-in option. Now we've sold out, so there are no more spots available, but I've been designing for that, working on that. Yeah, getting cards with a twist out in the mail today. I had my tea and crafts event today. Lots going on, but you know, it's just kind of the way I roll. I tend to have a lot of irons in the fire. So this is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to use these blends, and I'm going to make this little, I better get some paper. Let me get scrap paper underneath me. I'll just grab this because I don't want it to bleed onto my photography paper. You know, that's one thing with the blends. You need to make sure that you have something underneath you. Hey, Corinne, thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. When you're using the blends, you need to make sure that you have something underneath your stamped image because it will bleed through. They will bleed through, I should say. So they are alcohol markers and they will bleed through. Now, as you can see, Zany Zoo is a cling rubber stamp. So you get all of that really great detail. And while that's drying just a wee bit, I'm going to grab the Happy Birthday to You stamp. And I'm going to stamp that onto a piece of fresh freesia. Aren't we all glad fresh freesia made it into the new subtles category? So this was one of our in colors from last year that would have retired. All the others retired this year, but fresh freesia is here to stay. And I'm happy about that. Let me grab a block. Now, let's go ahead and stamp this here. I'm actually going to cut this out with a die, but I think I'm going to do all the die cutting at once and all the stamping at once. And that not only kind of simplifies your projects when you're creating, but it also kind of keeps you from making errors, because if you start getting all the ink out and then you pull out the cut and emboss and then you put it away and get more ink out, yeah, you can end up having some issues. Ask me how I know. Okay, I'm going to start with dark old olive, and I'm going to give him his little spines here. Now, bear in mind, anytime you're using the blends, that they're going to start out darker than what they're going to look when they dry. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do his underbelly and this deep. This is the dark old olive. And then I'm going to do his little leggies in dark old olive. And then I'm going to come in, actually old olive and this is the dark granny apple green. They look really good together. The granny apple green is a little bit brighter, so let's give his toes a little bit of brightness and his eyes a little bit of brightness. And then let's just go ahead and bring this in and kind of give him a little bit of an outline. And this is one of my favorite ways to use our blends, is to outline in the darker color and then come behind with a lighter color, because that's the way I used to color when I was in school. So I've just kind of kept that up. Now, this is pretty dark. Now I'm going to come in with the light. This is the light, what do you call it? Old olive. And it may look like I've got 3 different greens here. Well, technically I do, but if you will just kind of keep blending and pulling that dark into the lighter, it will all come into a harmonious color, and you won't have those deep lines of demarcation. It will all just blend out. So I'm strategically going back in to where the darker lines are and pulling that in. Now I'm trying to keep his teeth white because I want that little bit of contrast there. So there is my cute little alligator. And I think what you find when you're working with the old olive blends is they can be a little bit, that dark is really dark, and it can be a little bit dull. And the granny apple green will kind of brighten things up a little bit and give it a little bit more depth. So now the bulk of my coloring is done. I'm going to come in with my Boho Blue, and I'm going to make a blue bicycle. And this is just the frame. The frame of the bicycle is blue. This is tying into my card base, but giving me a nice complement with all that olive. Now I do need to bring back in my granny apple green because I've got some leaves and I don't want to forget about my leaves. And I do want them in the brighter green. Then, looking at my little color coach here, they're recommending fresh freesia, and that's why I've done my little tag. My little greeting is going to be with fresh freesia. So I'm going to use the dark freesia on my little flowers here. And that's going to give me a really nice pop of color. Because the greens and the blues, they look a little bit neutrally. And so I'm going to bring in a little bit of petal pink, which is also here. That's going to be my basket. A little bit of lightness there. And I think I missed a flower petal, so we'll just kind of do that. And then I have all these different parts of the bicycle. I really don't want black tires because they're going to be a little bit dark. So I'm going to come in with the dark gray granite for my kind of where my chain is and also where the tires are. Because, you know, basically this is like a cartoon alligator. I don't need this to be totally, you know, totally accurate. Okay, so he looks pretty cute. I'm pretty happy with him. So now, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Take a little bit of this dark blue and I'm going to put it in the center of those flowers just to give them a little bit of definition. So you see how that gave it just a little bit of definition. So now I'm ready to use my cut and emboss machine. Now this is my new mini, and this is in Boho Blue. Isn't it cute? So I have my plates here, and I am going to do this one first. So this is my little greeting, and I'm going to use this is the radiating stitches. This number here is an online exclusive item. And hey, Terry Lynn, I'm so glad you're here. And I'm glad you think my little alligator is adorable. And hello, Zana. Welcome, welcome. So this is the radiating stitches, and I love these. So it's only a $30 set, which I think is just a steal. Now, let's bring this through. And then I've got one other little bit of die cutting to do, and that is with my little alligator. So I'm going to be good and put this back where it belongs because I don't want to lose it. And now I am going to put down my little alligator. So let's look at how many dies. Now, if you notice, I've got the critters, but then I've got like a little table. I've got some balloons with strings. I've got little flowers here. This is actually, you can make like a little stage. This is a cute little tag. There's a lot of fun dies in here. So it's a really cool die set. You've even got clouds. Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, let me go with here. Now, I probably should do this because I have colored him. I don't really want this to shift on me. So, can Candy do this from a sitting position? Let's see. I usually stand when I stamp because when you're looking over the top, it just seems to be more accurate. Okay, let's see if that will do the trick. Here we go. Bring him through and effortlessly cutting out my super intricate, fun little alligator. Okay, Elaine, that's a great question about the dies. So let me just pull this up again for you. So this is the radiating stitches, and here is the item number. There is not a flyer for this, and there is not a catalog for this. This is one of the items in what's called the online exclusives, and they are a must-have in my opinion. Okay, let's put this together. Now, I'm definitely open to opinions about whether or not I should incorporate that little bit of green. I better put this little guy away or I'm going to lose him. Look how good I'm being. Okay, now, Elaine's been over here organizing me, and she can tell you that I am not very good at putting things away. But she's very patient with me and very good to me. So, these are my elements right here. And look what I'm going to inject, a little bit of fun gingham ribbon. Now, I can do, let's just see what we think. Should we do it simple like this with a little bit of gingham, Or should we add this extra layer of the textured shimmer and that little bit of old olive? Let's see. Tell me what you think. Should I add those extra layers? Do we like that? Oh, my light's flickering. Or do we want to go simple? So I will wait just a minute while you guys tell me what you think. And while I'm waiting, I know that this is going to be stuck down here. So let me go ahead and put my designer series paper. At first, these new, oh, well, let's see. Let's just make sure we're going in the right. Yeah, that's too much white back there. Okay. With these new patterns of paper, I wasn't sure if I was going to like them, but the more I work with them, the more I do like them. You like it without the extra layer, Corinne. Margaret, you like the old olive. Jackie likes the old olive. Old olive ties in with the alligator. Yeah, okay. Layers are pretty. Okay, so let's go. You know, sometimes less is more, and sometimes more is more. This is actually, I really like this particular layout. I've used it quite a few times, where I take one of the specialty papers and put it here. Now, this is a 5x2, which means that when you cut your 12x12 paper on the 5, and then you cut it on the 5 again, you can get 6 out of each of those. And then that leaves you a 2-inch layer, so you can get an extra 2 pieces out of it. So it really is a good use of your specialty paper, because you only have like about a 1-inch piece of waste for the whole thing, which I think is pretty nifty. Okay, and this I am actually going to run all the way through my card, which just, I think, you know, it just gives it a little bit more of a luxurious stepped up look on the, when you open your card and you have that ribbon going all the way through. Now that we are going to do, oh, never mind. This has to go down first. So again, this is Misty Moonlight with Boho Blue. So that's kind of where I started with this project tonight, was starting with the new in color Boho Blue, and I like it with Misty Moonlight. And although Misty Moonlight is not on here, I kind of made that into Misty Moonlight. I picked up the old olive here, and I picked up the fresh freesia and just a hint of that petal pink. So that's kind of where I got the idea for the colors on my little alligator. So we are going to bring this ribbon a little bit far down, and I'll tell you why. Because this ribbon is going to be the ground for my little alligator, because he is on a bicycle, and I need that bicycle to not be in the air. So this little guy is going to go right like that, which I think is just super fun. And I'm going to pop him up on dimensionals, which means I probably should pop this up on dimensionals as well. Let me go grab some minis and we will finalize this. Let's see, minis are here. And I need a tiny, tiny little bit of bling. What kind of, oh, you know what? I think I might just use some of these guys. These guys carried over, and I think they might be just the right look to kind of go with our alligator. Okay, let's see what we got here. So let's put the alligator down first. Now I'm going to use quite a few of these minis because he has a lot of little nooks and crannies, as it were, and I want it to really stand up on my card. So I hope you are liking this little alligator. I just think the critters, I do like my critters. These critters are adorable, absolutely adorable. So I'm thinking this alligator would be super cute for a grandson, for a granddaughter. I think he's really cute for anybody. So I think there's a critter in here for the young and the old, for the boys and the girls. They are just for anybody. And I think that anybody would smile. Hey, Alice, welcome from Indiana. Oh, Jeanette, I'm glad you like the ribbon. It is kind of, I was thinking it had too much, so much green and blue. And I thought, well, we need a little something here. Now, this carried over into the new catalog, and so did this paper, this textured shimmer from the mini catalog. And now, looky here. Happy birthday to you indeed. Now, I'm going to put these little rustic dots on here, and we're going to see what we think. But I may just put rhinestones. Might just need that little bit of light. And that's what I think rhinestones often do, is they just bring in a little bit of light. I kind of like these with the alligator. However, let's see. Let's try the rhinestones and see what we think. Actually, this sheet has fewer. How many open rhinestone sheets do you think Candy has? Let's see, Margaret, you could do the bike in pink and add a pink bow. Oh, I love it. Yes, there's so many cute things you can do with these critters. And honestly, I think these are very, and I think if you did this, instead of bringing the purple in here, if you brought in Lost Lagoon or Soft Seafoam or something, you would have a little bit more of a boy card, because flowers are flowers, whether it's a boy or a girl. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I think we're going to bling this up with some rhinestones. I think we need a little bit of, I tend to have a lot of natural light in my house, and I have very sensitive eyes to light. So my husband teases me a lot about it. And a friend of his sister's came into the house, and not our house, another house, and said, she's a real Southern girl. She said, we need to put some lights on in this house. So that's what he's always coming into a room and saying, we need to get some lights on in here. Well, I think that is what rhinestones will often do, is bring a little bit of light in this house here. So you see how that gives you just that shine, brings in that little bit of light, and I think it's just the ticket. Yeah, he laughs at me because I'm sitting in a dark room, and he'll say, honey, do you want the light on? I said, well, I'm working on a computer, and there's light all behind it. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, a card featuring the new in color Boho Blue, featuring the returning in color Misty Moonlight, which is now part of our neutrals, and featuring the new Zany Zoo bundle. And I did also bring in one of the new-ish, where'd they go? Radiating Stitches. Here we go. So these, I think they were introduced in March. So really fun. So thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and bearing with me. I'm glad you like this little critter. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of work with this whole bundle and the whole suite, and I am absolutely loving it. Zany Zoo, very well named. So be sure to comment. Thank you so much for comments. You'll be entered into the drawing, which we typically do the day before my next broadcast, which will be next Wednesday would be the drawing. Thursday is the broadcast. I'm here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And if you share the video, it helps me ever so much. So I don't know, some of you local peeps, tell me what you think. Jeanette and Tasha and Mary, should we do this at a card class coming up? Would that be too much coloring for you? What do you think? We do a monthly card class. And in April, coming up in, I think it's next weekend. No, actually it's a little bit, I think it's next weekend, is going to be my new catalog launch, because I'm not doing card class in May because I will be in Norway on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip, which I'm super excited about. I have already earned the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip for next year, which is at a really cool resort in Mexico. So fingers crossed for the sloth. Oh, Well, now I will tell you something about the sloth, and that is because he's not in the stamps, we have to use him in the paper. But that is easily done. Should I give you another little sneak peek? Don't tell anybody. I'm going to show you one other little thing. So I've been working with some other designs. Now, I think I showed Jeanette, I showed her these at retreat. So this is using the paper. These are dies. This is all just the paper. I did no coloring on this card at all. And then this is fussy cut from the paper. So this is where we could put the sloth right here. We could do this design right here, Tasha, and then we could just cut out the sloth. So different people would have different animals they could cut out. So that was a little sneak peek for an event coming up. But this is my featured card for tonight. Sometimes I just can't. I can't quite hold myself. So Jolene, I'm glad you are excited about bingo next Friday night. Those packets are going out in the mail tomorrow. I just rounded them up tonight. So I thank you for registering for that. And we are doing, the cards I designed for bingo. Let me just tell you a little story here. These are little pieces that didn't make the cut. Well, this guy didn't make the cut, and then I was messing around with these, and I thought, well, I could just layer him up like that for another card. I mean, a turtle who's singing. Who doesn't love that? So this Rhino Ready bundle was an online exclusive, and I designed my cards with this stamp set, and the dies went on, like, sold out, and they're not coming back. So the stamp set is available while supplies last, but the bundle is gone, and the dies are fabulous, and they are gone. So yeah, I can't, yeah. It is what it is. Hang on one second, let me show you. Let's see if I can find those. Let's see. So I did the same projects for bingo in person as I did online. And I usually do it a little bit different. But anyway, so I always do fun folds for my bingo class. And these, I love this animal prints paper. Hope your birthday is wild. And I put the little bird on top of the rhino. So this is fun fold number 1. Fun fold number 2, hello friend. See, this is part of the dies. I mean, they're really, really nice dies. Now, these layering circles are retiring. I think they're still available. And then last but not least, I call this a stretch. I don't know what anybody else calls this. And these layering dioramas are also retiring. So, get them while you can. So this is what I call a stretch card. And it's a fun, interactive, fun fold card. And of course, it's a great day. You could put congratulations. I put happy birthday. You could put anything in there. So anyway, these packets are going out tomorrow for my online bingo class. And typically bingo is 3 cards and they're all fun folds. So these tutorials are all ready to go. I think I have to drop the photos in. But that is it for tonight. And again, we did Zany Zoo. And a fun birthday card featuring the brand new Boho Blue and the returning Misty Moonlight and Fresh Freesia. Okay, I need to quit jabbering and sign off. Thanks again for sharing and commenting. And I will be here with you again live next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully between now and then, I will have a few more things here on my Facebook page and on my blog to inspire your creativity. Thanks so much again. Take care and God bless.